I can say that Final Fantasy XIV is still on the upward trajectory with Heavensward, and I found myself enjoying it quite a bit. There was a focus in this expansion that allowed for many of my criticisms to be addressed in fun, well set up moments. It felt good progressing through Heavensward, and that was more than I thought I would get. Spoilers ahead. Let's get the stuff I wasn't on board with out of the way first. There was this Ul'dah plotline revolving around Raoban and Nanamo that consisted of two quest chains. I felt these were very out of place, especially in the context of the narrative. Neither quest chain impacts the story of Heavensward, and when they show up, there's the issue of the horde of dragons could attack at any second now. They certainly felt shoehorned in, and if I were to fix it, I would have added a time skip from A Realm Reborn to Heavensward. That way the expansion could open up with these quests. Alternatively, leave it for the post-patch content, which I feel best fits the narrative in this case. The next thing is a little spicy, but I think the story of Heavensward didn't actually move the game forward in any meaningful way narratively. Prior to Heavensward, dragons want to attack Ishgard, and at the end of the expansion, dragons want to attack Ishgard. The overall plot of Final Fantasy XIV didn't really go anywhere. Sure, some important people died, an alliance was formed, and more power was gained, but Heavensward felt very self-contained. The impact of what was accomplished didn't seem obvious or apparent. For the stuff I was on board with, let's start with how the expansion was very self-contained. I loved how laser-focused the story was. There were very little distractions and nonsense to disrupt the pacing. It was, mostly, a straight shot of main story progression. This approach allowed for so much freedom to build up the other aspects of the story. One of those aspects was the characters. So much character development was afforded, and it was relevant. Ysayle, Estinian, Alphino, and Emmerich were all given a great spotlight. I was allowed to actually enjoy their company and be sad when some of them died. Ashraffon's death was definitely a big one for me because of everything that happened in Kurthus. That zone stood out as having a great narrative and impact to set up Heavensward, which made his death that much more impactful for me. Ysayle going out in a blaze of glory was saddening, especially with talk about how she could have become a scion. And Estinian, he was a fun guy to have around. I'll miss them all, which is something I can't say for everyone in A Realm Reborn. The enemy development was well done, although a mixed bag I would have to admit. When it comes to the Ascians and the Empire, not much was gained aside from La Habre's death, and that felt a little forced to me. However, when it came to Bishop Thordan and his knights, it felt good. We met those characters face to face and even got big revelations directly from those characters. We encountered them, confronted them, and fought them in big epic battles. Because I got to interact with them on multiple occasions, they were that much more memorable. As a whole, Heavensward was a giant leap for Lalafell kind. I leveled as a white mage and chaotically found myself progressing at a steady pace, to the point where credits happened and I was surprised I reached them so quickly. There's still a lot of lingering questions from A Realm Reborn, but if they take this expansion's method of introducing laser-focused stories, I'd accept that. Definitely looking forward to what Stormblood has to offer. Thanks for watching, appreciate it, see you on the next video.